Welcome back to another installment on inequalities. Let's continue our discussion on inequality by subtraction. If 2 more than m is a negative integer and 5 more than m is a positive integer, which of the following could be the value of m? It's a very straightforward problem if you can figure out how you're going to translate the words into an expression, right? So we know m, if 2 more than m, what that means is if m is some value, m plus 2 is less than 0 because it's a negative integer. Okay? An integer is negative if it is less than 0. Similarly, m plus 5 is greater than 0. If we can narrow each of the expression in terms of just m, then we might just be able to answer the question, which of the following could be the value of m? Okay, so let's take the m plus 2 expression, which is less than 0. We have to clean up so that there's nothing around the m. So if you add negative 2 on both sides, m is less than negative 2. Similarly, m plus 5 is greater than 0. If you add negative 5 on both sides, m is greater than negative 5. What this means is m is less than negative 2, it's greater than negative 5. What are the integers between 2 and 5? It's negative 3 and negative 4. These are the only two possible integers that can be found within this range. If you use this knowledge and go back and figure out which of these answer choices are possible for value of m, you can eliminate all of these but negative 3. Now let's see if you can substitute negative 3 and get at least to verify these expressions are true. So if you substitute negative 3 plus 2, yes, it is less than 0. Similarly, negative 3 plus 5 is greater than 0 because negative 1 is less than 0, 2 is greater than 0. So we know that our expressions work. Which of the following is equivalent to an absolute value of x minus 3 less than 2? So for the positive end of it, we just take x minus 3 is less than 2. So x is less than 5, right? Because we add plus 3 on both sides. So for the negative component, we take negative x minus 3 less than 2. When you multiply or divide by a negative value, it becomes greater than negative 2, right? We flip the sign of the inequality, but also we add a negative sign. So x, if you add x, to clean up the x, you have to add plus 3 on both sides, which would make x greater than 1, right? So x is greater than 1, but it's less than 5. Is there an expression that describes that? Sure does. D. Given 7x plus 9 is greater than 30, what's a possible value of x? Again, you have to start from the side containing the absolute value. So for the positive end of it, you just take 7x plus 9 greater than 30. So 7x is greater than, you just add 29 on both sides, so 21. So x is greater than 3. That's positive end of it. Negative end of it would be negative 7x plus 9 greater than 30. So 7x plus 9 less than negative 30, right? You have to flip the sign. We also add a negative sign. So if you add negative 9, so 7x is less than negative 39, x is less than 39 over 7, right? Unfortunately, x is greater than 3, which means 4, 5, 6, and so on. And x is less than, which means 2 is not possible. Unfortunately, all of these are not possible. Only this is possible. Okay. Oh, sorry, actually, x is less than, right? So this is not possible. I meant to say that. So let's go through these one at a time. So what is negative 39? Assuming it's, 39 over 7 is negative 5.5. So x is approximately less than negative 5.5. That means X can have values of -6, -7, -8, and so on. So -3 is not possible, -4 is not possible, -15 is not possible. Okay, I got carried away here for a second. So the answer is X equals -15. Okay, let's solve this one. So we have -3x plus 5 less than 101. So we have to get rid of the 5 first. So if you add -5 on both sides, 101 minus 5, I think is 96, right? And then you get rid of the 3, so that will be -x less than 32. And you get rid of the negative, so you have to change the sign. So x is greater than -32. If it is greater than -32, then the answer would be B. Okay. All right, this is a very interesting problem because there's just a lot going on, but if you actually break it down into simple components, the problem is actually very easy. The cost in cents of manufacturing X pencil is 1200 plus 20x, where 1200 is the number of cents required to run the factory regardless of the number of pencils made, and 20 represents the per unit cost in cents of making a pencil. The pencil sells for 50 cents each. What number of pencil would need to be sold so that the revenue received is at least equal to the manufacturing cost? So is it just equal or is it greater than or equal? Because think about it, nobody wants to do a business where they don't want to just cut it even. That is, they don't want to make the cost of production and cost of selling the product to be equal. If you want profit, right, ultimately you want to have a greater than or equal than the production cost, right? So we know that the cost of production is 1200 plus 20x, right? Where X is the number of pencils sold, right? Which means this number must be greater than, so you have to sell enough pencils such that 50 cents is the cost of the pencil. So if you sell X number of pencils such that you will make more, so you sell enough pencils that this number could be less than the 50x, right? So essentially, this is the situation for profit, right? So I think the question, if I remember right, was only asking for an expression. You're not expected to solve the value. However, if you want to solve the physical value of X, you're welcome to do that. But this question was simply asking for a algebraic expression in terms of inequality, right? So thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you with another video on subtracting inequalities. Until then, bye-bye.